Hello and welcome. I'm Vivian with foodandstyle.com. If you've ever tasted artisanal butter, you know how delicious it is. You cannot compare it to the commercial kind. It is sweet, aromatic, a little grassy, absolutely superb. And today I'm going to show you how to make cultured butter in your own kitchen. All you need to make your butter is a Cuisinart, a starter culture, butter muslin, and most importantly, the best cream you can lay your hands on. And by that I mean a local cream that's fresh, pasteurized, and either homogenized or unhomogenized. Stay away from the commercial kinds that are ultra pasteurized and ultra homogenized. The recipe will not work with those. Are you ready? Let's make our butter. Place the cream in a medium saucepan. And now warm the cream over low heat until it reaches about 68 degrees Fahrenheit. You'll want to stir from time to time so the cream warms up evenly. To make homemade butter, we're using a buttermilk culture called C21 from New England Cheesemaking Supply. These directions on the package are to make buttermilk, so you must ignore them. We are working with cream and we are making butter. Alright, our cream is ready, so turn off the heat. Remove the pan from the stove. Sprinkle with the buttermilk culture. And now let the culture rehydrate for about 5 minutes. Now whisk for about 20 seconds to distribute the culture evenly throughout the cream. And now transfer the cream into a clean glass jar. Now cover the jar and let stand at room temperature for 12 to 24 hours until the cream has thickened. Ambient temperature should be around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It's been about 18 hours, so let's check on the cream. Do you see how thick it has become? So now we're ready for the next step. And by the way, it also smells incredibly delicious, a little sweet, a bit like yogurt. So now cover the pot again and refrigerate the cream for another 12 to 24 hours. We're almost ready to make the butter. So remove the cultured cream from the refrigerator. Place a thermometer in it and let it stand at room temperature until it reaches 55 degrees Fahrenheit. This should take about an hour. Now place the fermented cream in the bowl of a food processor. By the way, the bowl should only be half full of cream because we need a lot of room for the cream to expand. So make sure to use a large food processor to do this. Now close the machine and let it run. Let me show you what happens after a minute or two. The cream has expanded and looks thick, a little bit like whipped cream. This is the first stage. So now continue processing until the next stage. This may take a couple more minutes. Let me stop the machine so you can see what is happening. Do you see how the cream is becoming grainy? This is the butter starting to form. So now continue processing. Now let me open the machine so you see what's happening. The butter is starting to form. You have like these thick curds that are happening. The next step, in the next few seconds, the buttermilk is going to separate from the butter and slosh around the machine. And that's when you know you'll need to stop churning your butter. Do you see what I mean? Look at the buttermilk. So let me close the machine a few more seconds so that you can hear what's happening. butter is done. Now with this batch, it only took 2 to 3 minutes to make it. Some creams might take a little bit longer. The most important part is for you to watch for all the stages that I just showed you. Do you see how the buttermilk has separated from the butter? Now transfer the entire content of the food processor into a fine meshed sieve. And now with a spatula, gently press the butter to remove as much buttermilk as you can. You can see it oozing over here. So keep turning the butter over and pressing. Oh, I wish you could smell this. It is so fantastic. Utterly beautiful and delicious. I think I've squeezed as much as I can with a spatula. And here is the beautiful buttermilk. You can transfer the buttermilk into a jar and refrigerate it. And of course, make sure to use it. It is so delicious. Now place the butter in a medium bowl, but save your sieve because we will need it again. And now pour iced water over the butter. Now you're going to knead and press the butter in the iced water. This is to wash it. We're going to remove the last bit of buttermilk that's in there. Now the ice water is going to keep the butter cold and make it rather easy to knead this. You'll be surprised. Now you can drain this water and we will discard it. And now pour ice water again over the butter and we will do the same thing again. In fact, we're going to do this process 4 times until the water stays clear. This is our second time, and as you see, the water is a little less cloudy than the first batch. And this is our last and 4th time kneading the butter. And you'll see the water will stay clear. Now transfer the butter back into the sieve and continue kneading to press out any excess water. Your butter is nice and cold and firm at this time. It smells so good. It's heaven. And then you can squeeze it between your hands. You'll see you'll still get a little bit of ice water out of it. Lay a piece of muslin on a counter or on a board and shape the butter into a long log. Now put it on the muslin and flatten it, and then wrap it in the muslin and blot it out. This is to remove any excess water. Here you have your butter. Now at this stage you can shape it in any shape you like. But I like to store mine in small glass jars. It keeps the butter very fresh. Of course you can refrigerate butter for a very long time, but I find that fresh butter loses its subtle flavors very quickly. So I will refrigerate one jar and freeze the others. This way this batch will keep as fresh as can be.